Welcome to FlyEaglesFly News, where Eagles fans get the latest, fastest, and hottest updates. Hit subscribe and fly high with us. The NFL world is absolutely buzzing, and the energy around Philadelphia has reached fever pitch because the Eagles, led by the always audacious ROSEMAN, have reportedly pulled off what many are already calling a monstrous trade. The whispers started early in the morning, but the confirmation via ESPN has thrown the league into a state of chaos as analysts scramble to parse the implications. The trade reportedly brings Myles Garrett, one of the most dominant defensive forces in the game, to the Eagles roster. And you can already feel the shockwaves in every corner of football media. Fans are reacting in a spectrum of emotions, ranging from ecstatic disbelief to nervous anticipation, knowing that this move has the potential to redefine the dynamics of the NFC. Rumors about the trade had been swirling for weeks, with insiders dropping hints on podcasts and social media threads. But no one was truly prepared for the audacity of ROSEMAN pulling the trigger on such a high-stakes deal. The panel on ESPN looked stunned, mouths agape, as the details began to unfold. Imagine the energy in the city, where the Eagles faithful are already celebrating the arrival of a player whose reputation alone commands respect on every field he steps onto. Analysts immediately began breaking down the salary cap implications, the draft picks involved, and the ripple effect this could have across every team in the league. What makes this trade even more remarkable is the timing. Philadelphia has consistently demonstrated a willingness to think outside the box, but acquiring Myles Garrett in this way signals a level of aggression rarely seen in modern NFL management. The whispers about potential matchups, the nightmare scenarios for opposing quarterbacks, and the thought of Garrett lining up alongside the Eagles' existing defensive juggernauts have fans imagining an unstoppable force, wreaking havoc week after week. Social media exploded as news outlets began reporting the deal, with hashtags trending worldwide, memes being shared at an alarming rate, and speculation about how this move changes the balance of power dominating every conversation. Former players weighed in, commentators on radio shows debated the strategic genius of ROSEMAN, and the Philadelphia fanbase, ever passionate, oscillated between pure excitement and cautious optimism. Aware that high-profile acquisitions always carry risks, the rumor mill had been spinning, with whispers of Garrett being open to relocation and Philadelphia positioning themselves strategically to lure him. But now the confirmation has set off a wildfire of discussion, both online and in sports bars from coast to coast. The Eagles' front office deserves credit for executing a deal of this magnitude, and insiders note that the complexity of the trade, the negotiation tactics, and the timing all speak to a masterclass in football management. Every network, podcast, and sports forum is dissecting the move, trying to predict how this seismic addition will manifest on game day, and whether the Eagles' defensive schemes will shift dramatically to accommodate a talent like Garrett. The implications of Myles Garrett joining the Eagles extend far beyond the immediate roster boost. Analysts are already speculating about matchups against divisional rivals, potential playoff scenarios, and the psychological impact on both opponents and teammates. Having a player of Garrett's caliber in the lineup changes the game before a single snap is played, creating pressure that can alter the decisions of quarterbacks, offensive coordinators, and even the broader strategy of opposing teams. Rumors indicate that Garrett's arrival was contingent on a combination of factors, including salary cap flexibility, draft pick negotiations, and assurances about his role in the defense, all of which suggest a carefully orchestrated plan behind the scenes. Fans are already imagining highlight reels, game-changing sacks, and relentless pressure on every offensive line he faces, fueling excitement for a season that suddenly looks dramatically different. Commentators on ESPN and other major networks have begun projecting how Garrett's presence could impact the team's performance, noting that his skill set complements the Eagles' defensive style perfectly, while also introducing an element of unpredictability that could confound even the most prepared offenses. The buzz surrounding Philadelphia's locker room itself has escalated, with reports of morale spikes, veteran players expressing enthusiasm, and younger teammates inspired by the arrival of a superstar who elevates the competitive bar to an entirely new level. This is not just a trade, this is a cultural shift. A statement to the league that Philadelphia is willing to invest in dominance, that ROSEMAN is unafraid to make bold moves, and that the NFC is about to experience a seismic shakeup. Fans and analysts alike are dissecting the potential domino effect across the league, with Myles Garrett reportedly arriving in Philadelphia. Rival teams are suddenly evaluating how to adjust their strategies, how to bolster their offensive lines, and even whether to pursue similar blockbuster trades to keep pace. The chatter in NFL circles has been relentless, with every radio show, podcast, and YouTube channel offering theories, some wildly optimistic, others cautious, about the Eagles' new defensive identity. The sheer audacity of the trade has dominated sports news cycles, creating a frenzy of speculation not just about immediate performance, but about long-term team building, playoff projections, and the psychological advantage this move offers. Fans have flooded social media with mock schedules, fantasy football considerations, and hypothetical highlight reels featuring Garrett wreaking havoc across the league, demonstrating how this acquisition is more than a roster change. It's a narrative-altering event that energizes the fanbase and commands attention from every corner of the sport. There's a sense that the Eagles have flipped a switch, signaling to competitors that they are serious contenders, willing to invest aggressively in elite talent, and that nothing less than complete dominance is acceptable. The rumblings across forums and sports columns suggest that the league is collectively recalibrating its expectations, realizing that Philadelphia may have just reshaped the balance of power in the NFC entirely. Meanwhile, speculation about the mechanics of the trade itself continues to fuel discussion. Sources suggest multiple draft picks and potential player exchanges were involved, although exact details remain murky. Adding to the intrigue, the complexity of the negotiations, combined with the shock factor of acquiring a player of Garrett's caliber, has analysts marveling at the strategic ingenuity behind ROSEMAN's decision-making. The trade is being dissected on every level, from salary cap maneuvering to defensive scheme integration, and the conversation extends into broader implications for the league, including how other franchises might respond to such a bold, high-profile acquisition. Rumors suggest that the deal was months in the making, with Philadelphia laying groundwork and leveraging relationships across the league to secure Garrett's agreement, highlighting the meticulous planning behind a move that feels both sudden and inevitable. For fans, the excitement is palpable, as every discussion around the Eagles now includes Garrett's potential impact, creating endless talking points about defensive dominance, quarterback pressure, and the terrifying prospect of a revitalized Eagles defense marching through the season. As the initial shock of the announcement settles, the narrative continues to evolve, with speculation now shifting toward chemistry, team dynamics, and leadership within the locker room. Analysts are debating how Garrett will mesh with the existing roster, how his presence will alter game planning, and what this trade signifies about Philadelphia's broader ambitions. Social media is flooded with predictions, fan theories, and viral content capturing the excitement and disbelief at such a monumental acquisition. The atmosphere is electric, with Philadelphia's community embracing the idea that their team is entering a new era, one defined by bold maneuvers, high-level talent, and a renewed sense of championship urgency. From podcasts to panel discussions, from casual fans to die-hard supporters, everyone is caught up in the narrative of a city celebrating a seismic addition to their team, ready to see how Myles Garrett will transform the Eagles into an even more formidable force on the field. Now that Myles Garrett's arrival in Philadelphia is official, the ripple effects across the NFL are impossible to ignore. Rival teams are reportedly scrambling behind closed doors, trying to figure out how to counter a defense suddenly supercharged with one of the most physically dominant pass rushers of the decade. Coaches are said to be reviewing game tapes obsessively, imagining Garrett lining up across from their best defensive tackles, envisioning scenarios where even the most precise quarterbacks might crumble under relentless pressure. Meanwhile, speculation about the Eagles' internal dynamics has taken center stage. Rumors indicate that veteran leaders are welcoming Garrett with open arms, seeing him as both a mentor and an instant game changer, someone whose presence elevates not just individual performance, but the entire defensive unit. Fans, of course, have taken to social media in droves, flooding Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok with mock highlight reels, mashups of Garrett's most devastating plays, and predictions of just how terrifying the Eagles' defense could become. Commentators are buzzing about the psychological impact as well, suggesting that offensive coordinators across the league may now approach every game against Philadelphia with a degree of caution they never anticipated. The chatter isn't just about the physicality Garrett brings, it's about the aura, the intimidation factor, and the strategic nightmare opponents now face before the whistle even blows. Speculation about the long-term implications of the trade has only intensified as analysts try to decipher Howie Roseman's bigger picture. Insiders suggest this acquisition is part of a broader plan to reshape the Eagles' identity entirely, signaling a willingness to invest heavily in star power while maintaining a flexible approach to roster construction. Rumors suggest multiple draft picks were involved, which has led to heated debates about the balance between immediate dominance and future sustainability. Fans are imagining a defense that can dominate the line of scrimmage, disrupt passing games, and create momentum swings in seconds, essentially transforming Philadelphia into a team that no offense wants to face. Discussions about Garrett's role in the defensive schemes are everywhere, with some suggesting the Eagles might build entirely new formations around his skill set, taking advantage of his athleticism and versatility in ways that could redefine modern defensive strategies. Podcasts, YouTube channels, and sports columns are filled with hypotheticals. Garrett chasing quarterbacks, collapsing pockets, forcing turnovers, and energizing the locker room like a spark that ignites a wildfire. Philadelphia's fan base is practically vibrating with anticipation, imagining a season where each game features highlight reel moments from a defense that suddenly feels unstoppable. FlyEaglesFly News family, smash subscribe and hit like. Your support keeps the freshest Philadelphia Eagles updates flying in. Drop your take in the comments and let's talk birds. The buzz isn't limited to strategy. It's spilling into the realm of personality and leadership. Rumors indicate that Garrett, known for his intensity and professionalism, is already connecting with teammates, influencing practice habits, and raising expectations across the board. Fans are dissecting every social media post, looking for signs of chemistry, locker room interactions, and potential on-field synergy. Analysts are debating how Garrett's presence could affect other star players, suggesting that his arrival might motivate existing talent to elevate their game, creating a domino effect that strengthens the team as a whole. There's also speculation about the fan experience. Sold-out stadiums, record merchandise sales, and electric atmospheres fueled by the anticipation of seeing one of the league's most feared defenders suit up every week. Rumors even hint at potential cultural shifts within the team, with younger players modeling their training and preparation after Garrett's routines, inspired by the arrival of someone whose reputation precedes him and whose commitment to excellence is unparalleled. It's becoming clear that this is more than a trade. It's a transformative event that could define the Eagles for years to come. Meanwhile, the media landscape is abuzz with endless debate. ESPN panels, radio shows, and sports podcasts are dissecting every angle: the trade itself, potential cap implications, the strategy behind Roseman's decision-making, and the broader impact on the NFC East. Rivals are reportedly reevaluating their off-season strategies, with whispers of adjustments in draft priorities, free agency targets, and even coaching philosophies. The ripple effect of Garrett's move to Philadelphia extends far beyond the Eagles themselves, challenging the entire conference to respond in kind. Fans are reveling in the drama, creating a frenzy of speculation about defensive alignments, matchup nightmares for star quarterbacks, and the potential for game-changing sacks that could define the season. The excitement is contagious, with casual viewers and die-hard fans alike engaging in debates, predictions, and social media discussions that dominate the sports conversation. Analysts suggest that the psychological edge provided by Garrett's presence alone could tilt games, forcing offenses to rethink strategies and potentially creating more opportunities for turnovers, pressure-packed drives, and momentum shifts that favor Philadelphia in ways that are still impossible to quantify. The trade has also reignited discussions about Howie Roseman's reputation as a master strategist. Rumors indicate that the deal was months in the making, involving careful negotiations, timing considerations, and a deep understanding of both Garrett's goals and the Eagles' organizational vision. Fans and commentators alike are marveling at the audacity, timing, and precision of the maneuver, speculating that this move could redefine the way the league views risk-taking in player acquisitions. Analysts are highlighting Roseman's ability to balance immediate impact with long-term planning, noting that acquiring a superstar like Garrett requires both courage and meticulous execution. Social media reactions have been explosive, with fans celebrating the daring nature of the move, sharing memes, and debating every possible scenario in which Garrett's talents could alter the outcomes of games. Every conversation seems to circle back to one central idea: Philadelphia has positioned itself as a team willing to bet big on dominance, signaling to the league that they are serious contenders. Not just this season, but potentially for years to come. That's a wrap from FlyEaglesFly News. If you want the fastest Eagles updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Sound off in the comments. Let's talk birds.